Types of corrosion and how to prevent it. Imagine you have a shiny metal toy. Over time, you notice it starts to look dull, and maybe even rust forms. This is because of a process called corrosion. Corrosion happens when metals, like iron or steel, break down because of things like water, air, or chemicals. But don't worry, we can prevent corrosion. Let us first look at some common types of corrosion and then explore ways to stop it. 1. Rusting. General corrosion. This is the most common type, especially with iron. Rust forms when iron reacts with oxygen in the air and water. That reddish-brown stuff you see on old metal is rust. How to prevent rusting? Paint. Covering the metal with paint protects it from air and water. Grease or oil. Putting oil or grease on metal, like on bike chains, keeps water away. Galvanizing. This means covering the iron with a layer of another metal like zinc. Zinc stops the iron from rusting. 2. Pitting. Corrosion. This happens when tiny holes or pits form in the metal. These pits can grow deeper, making the metal weak. Pitting usually happens in places where there's salt, like near the ocean. How to prevent pitting? Use protective coatings, just like paint or oil. These stop the water or salt from touching the metal. Use better materials. Some metals like stainless steel don't pit as easily. 3. Galvanic corrosion. Have you ever seen two different metals touching each other and one of them starts to break down faster? This is galvanic corrosion. It happens when two metals are in contact and there's water around. How to prevent galvanic corrosion? Separate the metals. Use plastic or rubber to keep the two metals from touching. Use similar metals. If the metals are the same or similar, they won't corrode as fast. 4. Crevice corrosion. Crevice corrosion happens in small, hidden spaces where water or moisture gets trapped. It can happen in cracks or gaps between parts of a machine. How to prevent crevice corrosion? Seal the gaps. Make sure there are no gaps where water can stay. Clean regularly. Wipe off moisture to stop corrosion from happening. 5. Stress corrosion. Cracking. This happens when metal is both under stress, like being bent or stretched, and exposed to corrosive materials, such as chemicals. How to prevent stress corrosion? Relieve the stress. Don't overwork the metal. Avoid putting too much pressure on it. Use resistant materials. Use metals that are tougher, like stainless steel, for parts that face a lot of stress. How do we stop corrosion altogether? While we can't stop corrosion entirely, we can slow it down. Here's a quick list of methods to protect metals from corroding. Keep metals dry. Wipe off any moisture to stop water from reacting with the metal. Coating the metal. Use paint, oil, or other protective layers. Use corrosion-resistant metals. Stainless steel or aluminum resist corrosion better than iron. Conclusion. So, corrosion is like a battle between metal and nature, but with the right steps, we can keep metal strong and shiny for a